This is Rob and today in Tacx Turbo Talks we're talking to Jessica Pratt of CANYON SRAM Racing about winning the Zwift Academy and racing down under. Alright, welcome back to the Tacx Turbo Talks podcast. It's the first episode of 2020 and the cycling season has kicked off at the Tour Down Under, and that's exactly where we are right now. And so I'm sitting across the table here in Adelaide for our first guest of the season, and it's the winner of the 2019 Zwift Academy. It's Jessica Pratt of CANYON SRAM Racing. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you very much.
It's the first live podcast for the Tacx Turbo Talks, but it's also your first podcast.
Yep, it's my first podcast ever, so I'm a little bit nervous, but no, it should be really good.
But you listen to them quite a bit, you said.
Yes, I do enjoy listening to podcasts. Yeah, they're good.
Which ones are on your list?
Oh, which ones? I don't know. I just really listen to anything educational. I like learning and that sort of thing. So right. Yeah.
Well, learning. You probably did a lot of learning in the last couple of months of the last year. We have to talk about that Zwift Academy journey, obviously, and we're going to talk a bit about the Aussie Summer of Cycling. Like the Zwift Academy, when was the moment for you that you were like, okay, I'm going to sign up for the Zwift Academy?
Ooh, well, the Zwift Academy. So I was overseas, actually, in Europe. I'd finished my nursing degree, so I'm now a registered nurse in Australia. I was overseas on holidays with my family. Like, we'd planned the holiday back in 2018. I was going to finish my nursing degree and, go overseas with my family, which was pretty unreal because my dad had never been over to Europe and my little sister had never been over, so we just planned this awesome trip. And I was getting all these emails about Zwift Academy when I was overseas from Zwift and that sort of thing, because I enjoyed a bit of Zwifting prior to signing up to Zwift Academy. And I thought it'd be a good focus, good to get fit and that sort of thing when I got back from Europe, with the shift work I thought it'd be perfect, and so
And did you immediately have expectations on getting far, or did you aim to go far in the process, or?
I thought it'd be amazing to make the semi-finals of Zwift Academy, but I didn't see myself. I thought making the finals would be a stretch, but crazy, pinching myself to be in this position now.
Because you signed up, but obviously before that you already did a fair bit of road racing, been in Europe with the Australian development team, and then I think 2 seasons after that, another 2 seasons in the NRS racing. Was it still a big goal to become pro?
Yeah, so I've been riding my bike since I was 11, so I'm now 22, so it's been a few years. Raced all through juniors and stuff in Australia and did a few seasons of the NRS. And I did get the opportunity to race in Europe in 2017 with the Australian development team. And we got to do races like Ardèche. We did the ladies tour in Norway. We raced the women's world tour race in Sweden. So we got some pretty good racing experience over there. And I had the likes of Lucy Kennedy, Grace Brown, Shannon Melseed. They were some of the girls on the team. So, and they obviously are all amazing cyclists and have gone on to do really great things. I finished, I went back home after 2017 and I was like, what do I want to do? I got half a nursing degree sitting there. I love racing my bike and I was a little bit lost. But ultimately the dream of turning professional has been there for a long time, and to turn professional is just unreal.
Were there any other ways that you saw yourself maybe getting there other than the Zwift Academy?
Yeah, so coming from Australia, it's obviously quite challenging, the Australian development team used to be a great pathway to turning professional, but I was the last sort of group in 2017, the last group that did sort of a tour program and that sort of thing, and there's a bit more of a focus on track cycling now within Cycling Australia, so I was I was looking at options. I'm maybe going over to Belgium, but that racing probably didn't really suit me, and I don't know, there didn't seem to be a clear pathway and it was going to be quite challenging. So I was talking to people and asking for advice, what can I do? But then Zwift Academy popped up.
And that's where the advice that a lot of people were giving you, say just give it a try and see how you go.
Yeah, definitely.
And when was that moment during the Zwift Academy that you thought, oh, maybe I'm gonna have a shot?
Oh, making the semi-finals was pretty unreal. Like, I was up at 4 a.m. ready to go to work that day. I was going to do a training session first and then head off to work, do a training session on Zwift. So to receive the email that I was in the semi-finals, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. 3 of us are going to make the finals out of 10. So I was like, this is a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, receiving the phone call also from Ella Harris that I'd made the finals, I was just, I don't know, it became a little bit more real. And I was like, I got a 33% chance of winning a professional contract now. So yeah, went all in and yeah.
And then obviously you got that invite, because you made the final, you got an invite to go to the training camp in Spain.
Yeah.
Other side of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. My first time to Spain. So that was pretty unreal. I've been wanting to go to Spain for a long time, as everyone shows great things of Spain, and it was beautiful. But yeah, we had 2.5 weeks to prepare between finding out we made the finals. So yeah, I was training hard and that sort of thing, and then before I knew it, I was on the plane to go to Spain for the CANYON SRAM training camp, which was crazy. Like, my idols were sitting there, and every move is getting judged. But yeah, it was such an amazing experience. Yeah,
because like on the last episode of 2019, we had your team manager Ronnie Lauke on the podcast. He was sort of like explaining it all, how the process would work. So people who haven't listened to that one yet, just go do it, so you kind of like know how it all went. How was the experience for you? Like you said, like sort of almost a bit like in shock getting there, and how did that change throughout those days that you were there?
Yeah, I guess for me, I was just stoked to be there. Like, I had nothing to lose from it. Like, ultimately, whatever happened, I was going to gain so much from it. And I sort of just went in with the attitude that, yeah, I've got nothing to lose. Just give it my best, be myself, have some fun, and yeah, the rest will follow. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. So, fortunately, it was.
Were you then any nervous towards the end, or getting more nervous maybe towards the end? Or
yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking towards the end there, but unfortunately they gave us a nice little 6-hour ride with 3,500 metres of climbing to do on the last day, so that sort of took the nerves away, because we finished the ride and we were pretty spent. So the nerves went away for a little bit, but then when they told us that we had to leave the hotel room and sit outside for a bit while they made the decision, that's when that final hour was really nerve-wracking.
Was it just the three of you waiting outside before you're getting called back in? Or?
Yeah, it was the three of us and Matt Stevens, so I'm sure he was a lot more relaxed than what we were. It was pretty tense there for a while, and it literally felt sick waiting for it, but to find out that I had won was just, I didn't believe it to start with. Yeah.
And then suddenly you got a pro contract for 2020. What changed for you after that moment?
Well, my life has changed now a little bit. So I'm no longer working as a registered nurse, which is probably the major change, I guess. All of a sudden, and I'll be moving across the other side of the world in 2020, which for an Aussie, it's a long way over there, but I'm very excited about that. And I'm living my dream now.
Where are you going to live?
I'm going to be living in Girona, so I think that's
the cycling
second
hotspot.
Australia, so it'll be really good. Lots of English-speaking riders there, and it'll be cool.
All right. And then, obviously, you start the season, you can immediately start in Australia.
Yeah, it feels surreal to start in Australia. Like, I started with I had my national championships just 2 weeks ago in Ballarat, and then TDU in Adelaide. It's such an amazing place to start.
But you were going to ride the TDU for the UniSA team, or?
Yeah, I had prior to winning the professional contract with CANYON SRAM, I was going to be riding for the UniSA team at TDU. So. Yeah. And
now you just got to ride it in a different kit with a pro contract.
Yep, I did get to ride in a different kit. It's been an amazing tour, TDU. It's such a cool part of the world to race in.
And then it's not an unsuccessful one either. You're ending up like 9th in GC. I think you got like 8th or top 10 on that final stage.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So pretty happy to finish 9th on GC. But I'm so grateful that all my teammates have taught me so much over this week. Like, they are really amazing. Like, grateful to be a part of the team.
Is there like one specific thing that you can point out, like that's a big one that I've learned over this past week racing with those girls?
There's probably not one thing that I can point out individually, but it's just different things like positioning, saving energy through the bunch, just noticing what other riders are doing and that sort of stuff, and you're just always thinking, and I've learnt so much.
And how was that feeling? Because obviously you had quite good legs there as well. Was it sort of an aim for you already immediately, the Aussie Summer of Cycling, or is it just...
Oh, it's always good to be going well as an Aussie, to be going well in the Summer of Cycling, but I'm just stoked to be racing here, really.
And what's the, because you had some big crowds I think as well for the women's Tour Down Under, and now you're still in Adelaide soaking up a bit of the atmosphere and riding when the men are riding around. How would you describe the vibe in Adelaide at the moment?
Oh, the vibe in Adelaide for TDU, it's one of the best weeks. So I've been down to Adelaide a few times for the TDU week. I actually came down in 2018 and I watched the women's race, and that definitely sparked a bit of a fire, I guess. I knew that I really wanted to be racing and that sort of thing, and then I got to race in 2019 with my National Road Series team, which was pretty cool. But to race this year has been amazing. But the vibe here, there's just so many cyclists, like it's cool to have all these Aussie cyclists in one place, and everyone's got a smile on their face, and common interests, and it's awesome. Yeah,
and riding it yourself, were there any sort of like idols for you in the pro peloton? Did you have like an idol sort of like growing up who you're now sharing the peloton with, or?
I have, I guess, lots of idols within the pro peloton. I've always looked up to a lot of the Aussie pros. I just wanted to be like them. I wanted to be a professional cyclist like them. They're all amazing. They've got amazing personalities. They're amazing people, and to be riding in the peloton with them now is just pretty cool.
After Adelaide, I think you're heading towards Melbourne for race Torquay and Torquay. How do you pronounce that? Sorry.
Yeah, Torquay.
and obviously the Cadell race.
Yeah.
Any goals in that, or?
Cadell's is always a very solid race. The finishing circuit is quite lumpy, so I've actually raced Cadell's 2 times previously. It's just to learn as much as I can and contribute as best as I possibly can to the team's outcome, and really that's probably my major goal.
What was the main goal like before going into the season? Did you have a chance to sit down with the team manager obviously and talking about like what your role was going to be for the whole season and how it all planned out, or?
I guess for me, going into this season, my major goal is just to, I guess, be a sponge, learn as much as I possibly can, take as much in, and fulfill my role as best as I possibly can. Just develop into the best rider that I can be. And
what would that role?
I guess I'm still learning about what kind of rider I am too, and that sort of thing. Like different things like lead outs at this level, I haven't really I haven't had a massive amount of experience in leading out riders, and that's something that I'm definitely keen to work on, and I'm looking forward to it.
And if you look ahead for the rest of the season, what's your program going to look like? Do you already kind of know?
No, I'm not really actually sure of what the rest of the season looks like for me just yet, but and whatever races I get to do, I'll be super excited to be there and give it my absolute best.
Do you have a dream race?
Oh, do I have a dream race? There's certain races like Strada Bianchi, the Giro, which they'd be cool races to do. I'd love to also represent my country at the World Champs at the senior level. That would be pretty special too.
All right. Already looking at this year's Worlds, or maybe later, or not specifically yet?
No, not specifically yet. Maybe sometimes in the future would be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. We're going to the Tacx Turbo Talks fan question of the week. We always have fans sending out the questions for our guests. And this week it's from Burnkopf Megan on Instagram. And the question is, what is your biggest dream?
What is my biggest dream?
Could also be non-cycling related,
that's
maybe.
That's a deep question. I don't really know. I feel like I'm living the dream right now. For so long I just wanted to turn professional, and for that dream to come through, it's just unreal. But I guess I just want to be the best version of me, be the best person I can be to everyone, friends, family, be the best person on the bike. I don't really have anything.
And any dream result, maybe? When we're talking about that Worlds, you just
I
want to
guess
go to
reading's
Worlds?
always nice. But yeah, baby steps at the minute. Develop
Yeah.
as much as I can, learn as much as I can. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Really cool introduction into Jess Pratt and how she's gonna ride in the pro peloton for the next seasons, maybe a couple of seasons, hopefully.
Yeah. No. Awesome. Thank you. I'm super stoked that I could be a part of the podcast for today. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Jess, for joining us. And if you enjoyed the podcast, don't forget to leave a rating and a review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to the podcast. This was Rob Bauer with Jessica Pratt of CANYON SRAM Racing, and stay tuned for the next Tacx Turbo Talks.